500 years ago, a man named Niccolo Machiavelli watched princes rise and fall. He saw empires crumble, not from weakness, but from the wrong kind of strength. And he discovered something terrifying. The people who command the most respect are often the ones who say the least. They don't beg for attention. They don't prove themselves. They simply exist in a way that makes others feel small without saying a single word. Today, I'm going to share 9 ruthless psychological tactics that Machiavelli himself would approve of. These aren't about being fake or manipulative. They're about understanding the dark reality of human nature and using it to your advantage. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Respect isn't given to the nicest person in the room. It's given to the most powerful. And power? Power is quiet. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people command rooms without speaking, why others listen when you haven't asked them to, and why respect will flow to you like water downhill. But I'm warning you now, once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. So, let's begin. Trick number 1. Master the art of strategic silence. Machiavelli once wrote that wise men speak because they have something to say, while fools speak because they have to say something. But he understood something deeper. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's a weapon. When everyone else is rushing to fill the void with their opinions, their jokes, their desperate attempts to be heard, you say nothing. You watch, you listen, you let the tension build. Here's what happens in the human brain when you do this. People become uncomfortable. They start to wonder what you're thinking. They begin to project power onto you because the unknown is always more intimidating than the known. A person who talks constantly, predictable, safe, easily dismissed. But someone who chooses their words carefully, dangerous, respected. Think about the most powerful people you know. Do they dominate every conversation? Or do they sit back, absorbing everything, only speaking when their words will have maximum impact? In 15th century Florence, Machiavelli observed that the quietest advisors were the ones the Medici family feared most. Why? Because you can't manipulate someone whose thoughts you don't know. You can't predict someone who refuses to reveal their hand. The trick is this. In your next meeting, conversation, or social gathering, speak half as much as you normally would. When someone asks your opinion, pause for 3 full seconds before responding. Watch how the energy in the room shifts. Watch how people lean in. Watch how your words suddenly carry weight they never had before. Silence creates a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. People will rush to fill it with respect. Trick number 2. Never explain yourself. This is perhaps Machiavelli's most ruthless insight. The moment you start explaining yourself is the moment you've lost. Think about it. When does a king explain his decisions to peasants? When does a master justify their expertise to a student? Never, because explanation is the language of the insecure. When you over-explain, you're really saying, please validate me, please understand me, please approve of my choices. And humans are predators. The moment they smell insecurity, respect evaporates. Let me give you a modern example. 2 managers give the same directive. The first says, well, we need to change the project timeline because, there are some complications, and I've been thinking about it, and it just makes sense, and I hope you understand why. The second says, the timeline has changed. New deadline is Friday. Which one do you respect? Which one do you question? Machiavelli understood that authority diminishes with justification. The powerful don't explain. They declare. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means understanding that your decisions, your boundaries, your choices don't require the approval of others to be valid. Here's how you implement this immediately. The next time someone questions your decision, respond with calm confidence. That's the direction I'm taking. Then stop talking. Don't fill the silence. Don't justify. Don't defend. Just let your decision stand on its own. You'll notice something remarkable. People will accept it. They might not like it, but they'll respect it. Because you've communicated something crucial. You don't need their permission to be who you are. The weak explain, the strong simply are. Trick number 3, make people work for your time. Machiavelli knew that value is determined by scarcity. Gold is precious because it's rare. Your time, your attention, your energy, these should be the same. But here's what most people do. They're available constantly. They respond to messages immediately. They rearrange their schedule for anyone who asks. They treat their time like it's worthless, and then they wonder why people treat them like they're worthless. In Renaissance Italy, the most respected nobles were the hardest to reach. An audience with them was a privilege, not a right. This wasn't cruelty, it was strategy. When something is easily obtained, it has no value. Look at your own life. Who do you respect more? The person who drops everything the moment you call? Or the person who's busy, focused, and makes you wait for their attention? The second one. Always the second one. Here's the dark psychology at work. When people have to work for your time, they convince themselves you must be worth it. It's called effort justification. The more energy someone invests in reaching you, the more valuable they believe you are. This doesn't mean being rude or ignoring people. It means being intentional. It means having boundaries. When someone messages you, you don't respond in 30 seconds. You respond when you're ready. When someone wants to meet, you don't clear your schedule immediately. You offer times that work for you. You train people to respect your time by acting like it's valuable. Because here's the truth, no one will value your time more than you do. Machiavelli would tell you that a prince who is always available is a prince who will be overthrown. Be scarce, be selective, be valuable. Trick number 4, control your emotions like a stone. In The Prince, Machiavelli wrote about the danger of being ruled by passion. He saw leaders lose kingdoms because they couldn't control their anger, their fear, their desperation. And he understood that emotional control isn't just about leadership, it's about survival. Here's what happens when you show your emotions freely. People learn how to manipulate you. They discover your buttons. They figure out exactly what to say or do to make you react. And the moment they can predict your reactions, you've given them power over you. Think about the last time someone stayed calm while you were angry. Didn't they seem untouchable? Didn't their composure make you feel small? That's not an accident. That's strategy. The most dangerous people in any room are the ones whose emotions you can't read. You don't know if they're pleased or angry, impressed or disappointed, friend or enemy. This uncertainty creates fear, and fear creates respect. Machiavelli observed the Borgias, one of the most feared families in Italian history. Cesare Borgia could order an execution with the same facial expression he used to discuss the weather. This wasn't psychopathy. This was mastery. He understood that the moment you reveal what you feel, you reveal how to hurt you. Here's your practice. For 1 full week, regardless of what happens, keep your face neutral. Someone insults you? Stone. Someone praises you? Stone. Good news, bad news, shocking news, your face reveals nothing. You'll notice something disturbing. People will become nervous around you. They'll try harder to get reactions. They'll treat you more carefully. Why? Because unpredictability is terrifying, and terror breeds respect. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions privately. It means choosing when and where you display them. Emotional control is power. Emotional transparency is weakness. Trick number 5. Let others speak, then use their words against them. Machiavelli was a master strategist, and he knew that the person asking questions controls the conversation. But there's something even more powerful than asking questions. Letting people talk freely, gathering information, then weaponizing it later. Most people love to talk about themselves. They'll tell you their fears, their insecurities, their dreams, their weaknesses. All you have to do is stay quiet and let them fill the silence. They think you're a great listener. They think you're interested. What they don't realize is that you're collecting ammunition. In the courts of Renaissance Italy, Machiavelli watched advisors who said little but remembered everything. While others chattered and debated, these silent observers took notes mentally. Then, at the perfect moment, they would recall something someone said weeks ago and use it to devastating effect. This isn't about being manipulative for cruelty's sake. It's about understanding that information is power, and most people give it away for free. Here's how this works in practice. Someone tells you they're insecure about their intelligence. You say nothing, just nod sympathetically. Weeks later, in a meeting, when they disagree with you, you don't argue directly. Instead, you frame your point in a way that makes them question themselves. I'm surprised someone with your analytical mind hasn't considered this angle yet. You haven't insulted them. You've used their own insecurity to plant doubt. They won't argue further because you've triggered exactly what they fear. The key is patience. Don't use information immediately. Store it. Wait. Then deploy it when it will have maximum impact. People won't even realize you're doing it. They'll just know that disagreeing with you somehow always leaves them feeling uncertain. Machiavelli understood that the greatest victories come not from strength, but from knowing exactly where your opponent is weak. Trick number 6. Never outshine the master. This is straight from Machiavelli's playbook. Always make those above you feel superior. It's perhaps the most counterintuitive advice for gaining respect, but it's also the most crucial. Machiavelli watched ambitious young men get destroyed not because they were incompetent, but because they made their leaders feel threatened. They were too smart, too talented, too visible, and powerful people don't tolerate threats. Here's the dark truth. If you make your boss, your mentor, or anyone with power over you feel inadequate, they will destroy you. They won't do it obviously. They'll undermine you quietly. They'll block your opportunities. They'll ensure your talent never sees the light of day. But if you make them feel brilliant, if your success reflects well on them, they'll protect you, they'll promote you, they'll give you opportunities because your rise doesn't threaten theirs, it enhances it. This doesn't mean being mediocre. It means being strategic about how you shine. In meetings with your superiors, let them have the best ideas. Frame your suggestions as questions. I was wondering if we might consider, rather than declarations. Give them credit publicly. Take criticism privately. The Renaissance courts were filled with brilliant advisors who died in obscurity because they outshone their princes. And they were filled with slightly less brilliant advisors who shaped history because they knew how to make their princes look good. Here's your tactical approach. Before presenting any idea to someone above you, ask yourself, how can I frame this so they feel smart for listening to me? How can I make this their victory, not mine? The paradox is this. By deliberately standing in someone's shadow, you gain their trust. And trust from powerful people is worth more than recognition from anyone else. Respect isn't always about standing out. Sometimes it's about knowing exactly when to step back. Trick number 7. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Machiavelli wrote extensively about fortune and how the most successful leaders were those who kept both enemies and allies guessing. Predictability is the death of respect. When people can predict you, they can prepare for you. They know your reactions, your patterns, your limits. You become manageable, safe, boring. But when you're unpredictable, you become dangerous. And dangerous people command respect. Think about it in nature. A predator that hunts at the same time every day becomes easy to avoid. But a predator with no pattern, terrifying. Every moment could be the moment it strikes. In social dynamics, the same principle applies. The person who's always nice becomes invisible. The person who's always mean gets avoided. But the person who's sometimes warm, sometimes cold, sometimes generous, sometimes distant, that person keeps everyone off balance. This is psychological intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that makes gambling addictive. When people don't know which version of you they'll get, they pay constant attention trying to figure it out. They work harder for your approval because it's not guaranteed. Here's how to implement this ethically. Don't be consistently available. Sometimes respond immediately. Sometimes take days. Don't always agree. Sometimes support ideas enthusiastically. Sometimes be skeptical. Don't be reliably predictable in your mood. Not erratic or unstable, but varied. The key is variation, not chaos. You're not being random. You're being selectively unpredictable in ways that keep people engaged and slightly uncertain. Machiavelli knew that the moment people think they understand you completely is the moment they stop respecting you. Mystery creates respect. Predictability kills it. Be the person nobody can quite figure out. Be the puzzle they can't solve. That's where respect lives. Trick number 8. Associate with the powerful, avoid the weak. This is Machiavelli at his most ruthless. You are judged by the company you keep. Association is destiny. In Renaissance Florence, a talented merchant who socialized with other merchants stayed a merchant. But a talented merchant who befriended nobles, he became a noble. Not because his skills changed, but because perception changed. Here's the brutal reality. If you surround yourself with people who are going nowhere, everyone assumes you're going nowhere too. If you surround yourself with people who are broke, struggling, and unmotivated, you inherit their status in others' eyes. But if you find ways to be in rooms with successful people, powerful people, respected people, their status rubs off on you. Even if you're the least accomplished person in the room, you're still in that room, and that means something. This isn't about being a social climber or abandoning friends. It's about being strategic about where you invest your time and energy. Machiavelli would ask, does this person elevate me or diminish me? Does this association make me more respected or less? The hard truth is that some relationships are anchors. They drag you down not through malice, but through gravity. And if you want to rise, you need to be ruthless about cutting those anchors. Here's your action step. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they where you want to be in 5 years? Are they respected in ways you want to be respected? If not, you need to gradually shift your circle. Find ways to be useful to people above your current level. Offer value, solve problems, make connections. Don't ask for anything except the opportunity to be in proximity to their world. Over time, proximity becomes association. Association becomes credibility. Credibility becomes respect. Machiavelli knew that princes weren't born. They were made. And they were made by carefully choosing who stood beside them. Trick number 9. Never show desperation. This is the ultimate Machiavellian principle. The moment you show need is the moment you lose all negotiating power. Desperation is the death of respect. In The Prince, Machiavelli describes leaders who begged for loyalty, pleaded for support, showed their fear. Every single one was overthrown. Why? Because the moment you show you need something badly, you've given others complete power over you. Think about job interviews, relationships, negotiations. The person who needs it more always loses. The job candidate who seems desperate gets lowballed. The person who's too eager in dating gets taken for granted. The negotiator who shows they need the deal gets terrible terms. But the person who seems like they could walk away at any moment, they get everything. Not because they're actually willing to walk away, necessarily, but because they've mastered the appearance of options. Machiavelli watched merchants negotiate in Florentine markets. The ones who seemed indifferent, who examined goods casually, who shrugged at prices, they got the best deals. The ones who showed excitement, who haggled desperately, they got robbed. Here's the psychological principle. Humans are wired to chase what's moving away and ignore what's chasing them. It's primal. The prey runs, the predator chases. If you're pursuing, you're prey. If you're being pursued, you're valuable. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It means genuinely cultivating options so you're never dependent on any single opportunity, relationship, or outcome. It means building a life where rejection doesn't destroy you because you have alternatives. Your tactical approach. In any situation where you want something, act as if you don't need it. Job interview? Be genuinely interested but not desperate. Someone's respect? Be friendly but indifferent to whether they like you. Business deal? Be willing to walk away. The paradox is this: the less you need respect, the more you get it. The more you chase it, the more it evaporates. Machiavelli's final lesson is simple. Desperation smells. People can sense it from across a room. And nothing kills respect faster than the stench of need. So there you have it. 9 ruthless tricks from one of history's most controversial thinkers. But before you close this video, I want you to understand something crucial. These aren't manipulation tactics. They're observations about human nature. Machiavelli didn't invent these dynamics. He simply had the courage to describe them honestly while everyone else pretended they didn't exist. The truth is, respect isn't about being the kindest person. It's not about being the most moral. It's about understanding power dynamics and positioning yourself strategically within them. You can choose to ignore these principles. You can keep explaining yourself, chasing approval, being constantly available, showing all your emotions, and surrounding yourself with whoever's convenient. That's fine. But don't wonder why respect eludes you. Or you can accept the uncomfortable reality that Machiavelli described. The world respects strength, mystery, and strategic thinking. It always has, it always will. These 9 tricks work because they tap into fundamental aspects of human psychology that haven't changed in 500 years. Silence creates power. Scarcity creates value. Emotional control creates fear. Unpredictability creates fascination. The choice is yours. You can be loved or you can be respected. Sometimes you get both. But if you have to choose, Machiavelli would tell you that respect lasts longer. Because when you're loved, people mourn when you're gone. But when you're respected, they never forget you were there. Now go out there and claim the respect you deserve. Not by demanding it, not by begging for it, but by becoming the kind of person who commands it without saying a word. If this video changed how you see power dynamics, hit that subscribe button. because there's a lot more where this came from. And if you're serious about mastering influence, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, remember, the lion doesn't need to prove it's the king of the jungle. It just is. Be the lion. Thanks for watching.